Hey there. Today we have a jolly type of song. It's Bryan Adams. It's one of my all-time favorites, not just from him, but like in general. And I'll try to cover more Bryan Adams songs in the future. If you guys let me know down in the comment section below, kind of rhymes. If you can let me know if you want to hear more of him, and if you'd like to learn how to play more of his songs. But for now, we have Summer of '69, which is a kinky number as well, which is double the pleasure. And let's see, I think it's a really simple song, but you have to be like careful with some nuances here and there. You don't just want to blast on your distortion channel. You don't want to have like super high gain or anything like that. It's more like old school rock, having a good time type of rock. It's like an '80s song, but like the overall vibe can go even like lower into the '70s and '60s, so you can crank down the distortion because you want to ultimately have enough crunch, but also enough of a clean mix in there, so that you can control the gain with your pick strength. So you want to be able to have sort of like a good dynamic with you kind of get what I'm saying, right? So you want to have that sweet spot dialed in. So once you're ready to go, the song structure is very simple. So you're basically just pedaling in between some chords, and you're starting off on a D, then you're switching to an A. And usually what I like to do is I like to mix the power chord versions with the open chord versions, and there's a lot of reasons for this. So for example, when the song first kicks in, it is my impression that the right choice or the better choice would be to stick with the power chord. Why? Because you kind of hear that clean, almost like a chug, very tight. And then it opens up towards the end. You don't really hear any of the, high strings. You don't really hear that, or right? You hear mostly the. I'm kidding. That's not the picking pattern, but I just wanted to let you know. So you're better off, in my opinion, if you're starting with. And at one point, if you want, you can just go towards. And you can do without the whole embellishment, so you can just go. However, what I like to do, and it's up to you when you want to insert these trills and fills, colon, whatever. I just like to double the keyboards. So sometimes I just like to have that. And if you don't know what chords those are, just a little bit of a hint, but it's a homework for you. It's some probably sus versions of the D and A chords, but I'll kind of leave it up to you to find out what's sus versions, and also if there's something more than just sus chords, and overall what's going on in there. But the thing is that you're just playing with your pinky, so, and then you're also lifting towards the open string. So also on the A you can do the same. So yeah. That's kind of it for these, jolly D to A transitions. Then you kind of have like the you have this whole B to A to D to G progression, and it kind of loops. Here again, I kind of leave it up to you to decide if shit, my shoulder just popped. Anywho, I'll leave it up to you to decide whether you want to go, because like with a B, it's easier if you just go with a power chord, and then with the A, it's very close by, so you either open, or also here it's kind of like almost the same fingering with the power chord version, but also you can choose this one if you want. What I wanted to say was that for the D and for the G, again, I'm kind of leaving it up to you to decide what shape and form you want to choose based on what you want to hear. I kind of mix it up like you've seen in the cover. Be sure to check the cover if you haven't done so already, because this tutorial is pointless unless you've seen the cover. I'm kidding. It's obviously it's not mandatory, but yeah, feel free to check it out. So once again, we go into the with a sort of like cool rock slide in with the fretboard hand. So you go into or if you prefer to go the other way around, and it's looping anyway, so after the G again you'll have, and here you can go even with the A, you can go here. So if you go with the A here, it's easier to just climb up onto the D. But for me, this A is a bit darker, hence, I'm going here. Here, using the thicker strings kind of loses that ring that the open A has. So, anyway, that's the other progression, and my shoulder popped again. Whew. The only remaining thing is there's this one point in the song where you'll have a different chord progression. It's like a bridge type of thing going on. So you're going into F, then you're going into A sharp, and then you're going into C. So it's and back down. So yeah, that's pretty much kind of the whole thing. So you have the D to A, with or without the embellishments. Then you have the kind of verse, whatever, chorus. I don't know, in this song, like kind of all. I guess you'd call this the verse. Then you have the chorus with. it loops. I just wanted to show you that at the very end, after all the loops, you just have one half of a loop, which is just the B to A. And then you go back into right, the whole D to A, and again, the other thing is just F to A sharp to C to A sharp to C. And then you go back into A sharp and C, and you're staying here, then going back into and now it's the solo that's actually very type of relaxing thing. It doesn't require any fast playing or anything like that, but it's very melodic, so that's a very good opportunity for you to test your feel, if you will, because it's not always about playing fast and having a gazillion notes inside, or even being super aggressive and having distortion. It's more like having a very laid back sound. Even on my cover, I didn't push it forward too much. I mean, almost for the whole cover, I just wanted to kind of simmer into the original, because just having something punching you in the face would kind of lose the effect of the song. So you want to have reverb for the solo. You want to have delay. If you want, you can even add a little bit of a chorus. Don't mess with the compression. It has to have dynamic. It has to be rich. So yeah, basically the solo starts with just one. I prefer to have it like a slide out of nowhere on the G string. So you're going into, and then a bend. Then you're shifting up one whole step, and you have another bend, but this time it's just a half step bend. And then you'll have a sort of a weirdly timed slide, going 1.5 steps. Right, so once again from the beginning, just slide in out of nowhere. Put down your finger on the 9th fret of the G string and just have one full bend, one whole step bend. And right after this, you go one whole step up with one half step bend. Right, so just to show you the steps needed for the bends. So yeah, after this bend right here, with that slide in that I said, you probably want to be careful. My fucking shoulder is popping again. You want to be careful with the timing, but you'll get it after a few tries. Next thing is moving up one string onto the B, and now you're having, then again shift. So right here you had 1.5 steps, like like the pentatonic type of usual distance interval. For the pentatonic, you hopefully know that it's either or in terms of spacings for at least the first position, if you know it. So this one is right after this, you're again sliding or shifting one whole step, and you're basically doing what you did here. It's just one octave higher. So again, first time around you'll have a whole step bend. Then second time around you'll go one whole step up in terms of shift, but bending will be one half step. So, and the whole thing just kind of fades away at this point. You're no longer hearing things very well unless you crank up the volume, but again, it defeats the purpose of the song. So the very last things that I kind of get are and I kind of like to finish with a. Then in the very far away distance, right before the whole song finishes, you kind of hear the guitar starting to kind of do the same, like almost the same thing that it did in the last part, but by that time again, the song finishes. So once again for the solo, just sliding out of nowhere. Then usually if you have sustain, you don't have to pick so often, but because I have low gain, I kind of reinitiate the the string impulse, if you want to get technical. So now you're going to If that's not an easy solo, I do not know what is. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole song. So as you can see, you can play through the whole thing with just very medium gain at most, if not low gain. And even in the solo, you don't have to like cut through the mix or whatever. You just have to lay back and chill, have a sip of lemonade, and just whatever, enjoy. So I hope you enjoyed this little fun, jolly song. Like I said in the beginning, please let me know if you want to hear any more of Bryan Adams. For me, like in my brain, it kind of ties in with the whole Bon Jovi thing, because they were kind of like close friends, especially back in the day when they were touring and whatnot, late 80s. So yeah, for me this kind of brings it back home. That's why I'm kind of using the opportunity of having a song that doesn't really need dive bombs and stuff. So I'm proudly using my Richie Sambora copy while knocking stuff off my desk with my very tight cable that I have running around here. So until next time, guys, see you. Bye bye.